Hello everyone, this is Super Gamer, Super Boy, Super Geek, whatever you want to call me, you can call me. And welcome to our very second Super Geek live weekly podcast. We are streaming, or I am streaming here live from Krypton. And today we're going to be talking about Marvel Phase 3 theories. Um, so yeah, going to start off. Uh, So I'm going to explain. Sorry that there was a bit of a delay. I was very unprepared and did not write my notes. So I've just done that now. So it took me about 15 minutes to do that. So yeah. So this is going to be the last Marvel one, not the last, but the so next week we'll start our two DC ones. I was thinking of changing this to do a Fantastic Four thing, but I will just do a separate video for that a little bit later on. Okay, so basically, I want to give you a whole idea of what we're going to be doing. Is I've got quite a lot of ideas on plots for different movies, and I couldn't find any Doctor Strange uh, plots, so I'll just be talking. When I get to Doctor Strange, I will just be talking about Doctor Strange, possibly in Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. Okay, so we're going to start off with Captain America 3. So it has been confirmed that there will be the whole registration thing, but it won't be entirely registration. So one of the writers, McFeely, I don't know his first name, sorry. He said that and I have gotten these from different websites. I will leave all of the links in the description once I am finished streaming. So I'll just go in and go into here, and I will start reading. So McFeely has said and he has written both Captain America movies, and he's also written this one. So yeah. Okay. So he said that there's a depth of myth to the Civil War storyline. It's been on and off the table for a while, and that we need to put it that way. And it's a challenge to do and make sure that all the characters we've established and everyone's established in the Marvel Cinematic Universe are serviced and sound correct, right? Because there's a difference in between the characters in Civil War, which is written in 2006, 2007. The MCU doesn't exist. There isn't a Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans who has helped create the character. So we need to make sure that that template gets adjusted and what you have in order to make sure it services these characters and not just sort of rip off their parts and make them look like them. So what he's saying is it's not entire the storyline of the comics, but it is still Civil War. It's not like they're going to do a Civil War movie and it's not going to be Civil War. Um, like we've experienced from previous Marvel movies, is that they do change origin stories. Everybody knows that. Yeah. So it will be civil. It will be Civil War, but obviously we don't have a Spider-Man, and we don't have don't really have we don't have a Spider-Man character. We don't have someone is who's good to both of them. Well, we don't have Spider-Man first of all, but yeah. So what we need is somebody Tony Stark. Spider-Man is friend in the comics, which I have actually read. Tony Stark is friends with both of them. Tony Stark is friends with no, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is friends with both of them. So it's just a bit strange that I don't know. I don't think they can use Falcon as a Spider-Man character because from what I've gathered so far, my knowledge, my vast knowledge, which is like none. I've got some smarter than some of my friends. It's because I do this all the time instead of hanging out with them. Um, so it, you need someone like I think maybe Hawkeye might be that character. We haven't really established his origin story the in the movies. I haven't really read any of his origin stories. I've got to catch up. Got a lot to catch up on. But yeah, it's quite confusing which person you'd use. Okay, now on to Black Panther. So it's immediately clear to newcomers that T'Challa, who is Black Panther, T'Challa's origin story will differ heavily from any other existing hero in Marvel's stable, actually beginning 10,000 years in the past when the tribes of Wakanda were united under a single chieftain. From there began the royal line of chieftains/kings known by the title of Black Panther, passing the position to their oldest son only once they had educated themselves on Wakandan magic, tradition, academics, and the ways of the warrior. So basically, what that means is going to be certain current times because yeah. So we'll get our glimpse at Black Panther and possibly we'll get a first glimpse at Black Panther in uh, Cap 3 because he has been confirmed. In case you don't know, and if you don't know, where have you been? Chadwick Boseman is playing Black Panther. A very good actor. I do recommend looking him up. So yeah, we'll go and watch some of his movies. Yeah. So yeah, with leadership comes great responsibility, but also perks. For starters, our hero will have a connection to the Black Panthers that came before, and a hereditary immunity. I'm going crazy today. Immunity to a unique herb, granting him in superhuman strengths, mutant or inhuman, whatever you want to say. Strengths and senses. That was the future that awaited T'Challa as his own father, T'Chaka, sat upon the Wakandan throne, encouraging his son to excel at all aspects to life, to better earn the mantle. But then there are these other people, other tribes in Wakanda that aren't the Black Panther tribes. They're like the man apes. I'm not sure if this is the origin story that they're going for, but it's certainly one of the ones I've seen. I know I've seen it in the Avengers cartoons. I don't know why I watched them, but yeah, I at least they own all of the things in those cartoons that they can use. But yeah, so where was I? So yeah, Man Ape, and to battle, Man Ape has to battle T'Chaka, who is T'Challa, Black Panther's father, to whoever owns the throne of Wakanda, and they battle, and Man Ape wins, obviously, and yeah, and so yeah, and that makes Black Panther T'Challa take off. So then the Man Ape is the ruler, and yeah. So some royal children might wind up spoiled. T'Challa took his father's guidance to heart, earning numerous degrees and achieving both academic and athletic excellence while including a stay within the United States. So now for Doctor Strange. For his Avengers 2 possibilities. So, previous reports have claimed that Dr. Stephen Strange would be featured in Avengers Age of Ultron. He would supposedly be introduced with the sequel before starring in his standalone film, which would be released on November 4th, 2016. The recently released trailer for the sequel has once again teased the Sorcerer's Supreme. That's a tongue twister. You try saying that. The recently released trailer for the sequel has once again teased the Sorcerer Supreme's possible presence in the movie. So, in the second Avengers trailer, if you go to the 39 seconds time mark, so it's a hospital gurney and some surgical equipment, which allegedly alludes to the character's profession in the Marvel comics as a neurosurgeon. However, it's still unclear whether it's really Doctor Strange wearing the white gloves, since the video clearly shows a woman attending to the person who is Black Widow, who is on the gurney, attending to Black Widow lying on the gurney. A somewhat similar scene was likewise featured in the first trailer released for Age of Ultron, according to a previous report from the International Business Times. The 1 minute time mark in the video also shows the same hospital equipment. Additionally, the presence atop a hill is supposedly a nod to Doctor Strange's refuge. You'd see the 0:48 seconds mark. Coincidentally, the second trailer at the 0:45 time mark also shows a similar looking mansion as it's being invaded by Ultron drones. Okay, well that was very short, Doctor Strange. Basically, I'm pretty sure from what I've read in the past 15 minutes or so, is that they're keeping his origin story basically the same. So yeah, it is getting close to 3 o'clock. This is normally when I'm finished, but I will go until about 3:15, as I did start a little bit later. Okay, so now on to Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2. So basically, I want to give you my theories on this, and this is all my theories, no one else's. So basically, what I've heard is that in Part 1, it will be, in Thor, we did see the Infinity Gauntlet, so that we know that's on Asgard, so it's probably Thanos. I'm not doing these movies in order, but it's probably Thanos going to the. Sorry, if there's any background news, the headlines are just on Krypton news service. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, the first movie we'll probably see the war, Thanos tearing up Asgard. Then I'm not sure what else we'd see after that. We'd probably see him maybe come to Earth a bit sneakily. How can a big purple alien come to Earth without people seeing, without the Avengers noticing? Yeah, I have no idea either. You know, something I do want to know, this is Avengers 2, but what if, like, if Jarvis is Vision, then will there still be a Jarvis? Or will Vision be his butler? So you guys can tell me that down below. Just I'll give you a couple of seconds to go down to the comments, and I'll start up. Okay, ready? So yeah, and then part 2 will probably be the ginormous war, but we have to wait until 2018 and 2019 for that. So it's pretty far away. But you know it won't seem that far away. Okay, now on to Thor 3 Ragnarok. So, what is there is a bit of a theory that there could be a giant moment where he perishes during Thor Ragnarok, but the theory, the hero, but Thor could rise again during the second part of the third Avengers for his finale as a character. So here's one possible theory. According to Marvel's Ragnarok comic book storyline, following the destruction of Asgard and falling of the gods, Thor goes missing in action and is presumed dead. That's when Tony Stark, using a strand of Thor's hair as DNA, creates a clone of the Asgardian, fusing him with Stark technology. This creates this results in the creation of a new cyborg Thor, who then might even eventually return in Avengers Infinity War Part 2. So here, Chris Hemsworth, who is Thor, in case you didn't know, he plays. He's only got a 6-film contract, and Thor 3 would be his 5th. So I'm pretty sure that they're counting Avengers Infinity War as one film, because I'm pretty sure they'd be filming them all at the one time. Okay. So now on to the only other movie that I haven't talked about is Guardians of the Galaxy. Who is Peter Quill's father? So basically I kind of found out. I read the prelude comic to Guardians of the Galaxy, which would be able to pick up from a comic store probably around now. So yeah, I did find out what's the whole origin story of Peter Quill and stuff. So yeah. So we can surely expect him to still have deep emotional ties to his dead mother, which will come out through Awesome Mix Volume 2. Not to mention the fact that he will be on the hunt for the identity of his real father, who turns out he wasn't actually from Earth. So, I've got 3 ideas of I've got 3 characters who might be Star Lord's dad. Okay. So it will. So number 3, the solid bet. Jason of Spartax. So who is he? This takes a bit of fun out of the game, but Jason of Spartax, aka Jason of Sparta, is Peter Quill's father from the Marvel Comics. Born on the planet Spartoi, he is actually a member of royalty and eventually becomes the leader of the entire Spartoi empire. He is well trained in many fields, but is particularly skilled as a pilot. It was during an intergalactic war that he crash landed on Earth, met and fell in love with Meredith Quill. Then they had their son Peter. After Star-Lord's dad left. So, why could he be Star-Lord's dad? Actually being Star-Lord's dad in the comics obviously gives him a leg up against any and all competition. Hence the solid bet. Okay. So he also has the ancient alien qualities that fit into the very loose genetic description provided by Nova Prime, which makes him a believable candidate. Let's not ignore the fact that the Guardians of the Galaxy's leader's full name just so happens to be Peter Jason Quill, suggesting that he was partially named after his dad. Okay, now for if I can just oops. So why couldn't he be Star-Lord's dad? Whether or not Jason, or whatever his name is, winds up being Star-Lord's father in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 really just depends on the direction that James Gunn and Marvel Studios are looking in. If if it makes sense story-wise to introduce Spartax into the mix, that's totally possible, but don't discount the possibility that they might try to change up the comic book canon for the better. Hence, there are some other options floating out there. So once again, if you are just joining me, I am reading these off websites, so I will leave all of the links in the description below if you do want to read the full article. So yeah. So now for 2, if it will load. Here we go. Come on, load. Come on, load for me. Okay, so this is very weird. The outside chance, which I do not believe at all, Yondu or Udonta. You know Yondu. Everybody knows Yondu. So he couldn't be. I'm not even going to read this. I do not count this. He will not be. Trust me, he's not going to be Star-Lord's dad at all. Okay. So no, it's not Yondu. Okay, that's not him. So now for our another one. Oh. So the wild card is Adam Warlock. We did see that cocoon in the collector's, whatever you want to call it. So who is he? He's an artificially generated by a group known as the Enclave on Earth. Adam Warlock's first act of existence was to rebel against his creators, who wished to use him for evil, and travel into outer space, where he would be gifted into the powerful Soul Gem and tasked to help protect the universe. In the comics, he eventually became one of the members of the Guardians of the Galaxy, though he obviously did not make it into the team's first feature adaptation. Why could he be Star-Lord's dad? Marvel would say Warlock's backstory a bit, but it's not totally unreasonable to think that he could do it as a means of introducing the character to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. His DNA would certainly be incredibly powerful, allowing Star-Lord to pull off what he did in Guardians of the Galaxy with an Infinity Stone. Okay. Basically, we're going to finish off to there. So, thank you everybody very, very much for watching. Once again, there will be links in the description to all of these websites if you do want to continue reading them, and I do recommend going to the Guardians of the Galaxy one that I've just read out of, because I did not read the Yondu one. I did read it before, but I'm not going to read it to you because I just do not believe in that at all. Because, well, one in the end, he said it's probably good we didn't deliver him to his dad like he asked us to. He also called him a jackass, but yeah. So yes, everybody, thank you very, very much for watching. It's been amazing. It's been really fun doing these Marvel ones. Next week will be our DC one. If I can just hop over and confirm which one it is. So next week's podcast will be a drum roll, please. If I can just find it. Drum roll, please. Longer drum roll, please. The next one is going to be DC Chaos. So DC Chaos, I will be. I haven't actually worked it out yet. But yeah, I haven't actually worked that out yet, but I will let you know when I do. So just make sure you keep checking the description on that. I have just got a placeholder description. That's my bit of a backup one. It won't be an hour-long special like it says in there. I'm just going. Okay, I've worked out what I'm going to do in just that split second. I'm going to be reviewing the Adam West Batman TV movie. Okay, so I'll just change that now as I'm there. So I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.